Hello and welcome to another video with myself, Reverend Arlene C. So, okay, just a warning that this video, the information is probably going to be a lot to take in. The information I'm sharing, even for me, um, you know, coming forward to make this video, there's that part of me who's like, okay, I'm waiting for someone to show up with a straitjacket, right? I get that. It is a lot to take in. And I will say too, like, yes, I can't say I necessarily have like proof or scientific proof that, confirms or validates the information I'm sharing. But I am still being guided to bring this forward and share it anyways. And for some, this may resonate with you, and for others, it won't. I almost feel like that's just not the point. The point is just to share it because I'm just being guided that it needs to be shared. So here we go. Take what you will, leave the rest behind. It's all fine. I just feel like it's not that I'm here to prove anything. It's just to share the information that I've received through my higher realm team. So I swear I've made maybe a post about this on Instagram before, or maybe on my YouTube channel before. Honestly, I can't remember because time just doesn't make sense and it just doesn't exist really sometimes. Yeah, so I'm losing track here for a second. I'm just rambling because I'm nervous to bring forward this information. So I'm going to say that this took place in 2020. So what year are we in? 2024. Okay, so it's been at least 4 years. I'm sorry, I had to ask what year it is because often I jump time so often, and so often, like recently, I keep thinking it's already 2026. So, and I've been literally like writing that on, in my freezer when I'm like putting dates on things. I'm literally writing 2026. It's just so, I don't even know what to make with that, but that's what's been happening. So, okay, 2024 is still 2024 is still. I gotta just keep reminding myself that it's still 2024. Okay, so there's been this deep shift in since 2020. When exactly in 2020, I'm not totally 100% sure, but I know it happened in 2020. So basically, we have jumped realities, and it's really also Earth, like a physical Earth. We left the Earth that we knew prior to 2020 and then jumped to this whole new reality of this Earth. So this Earth that we're in now isn't the same Earth. Now, how to exactly explain how that happened, I don't know. And even in a way that they've shared that information, I wouldn't even know how to articulate it. I wouldn't know how to communicate it with you at all. So all I know is the biggest way we see this change is in our sun. Our sun is a totally different sun than what it was prior to 2020. And it's like little things we'll notice in changes where, like in 2020, for example, the sun got really hot. Like, we already know the sun is hot, but it got even more hot in how it affected Earth. So it's like, and with that, our magnetic field, or the ozone layer, right? Like it is a lot, it's not as strong as it was. It's weakened quite a bit. So in that as well, it has really impacted how the sun hits us and connects to us. So it's like something simple where it's like being outside in the summertime and having a suntan. People were burning that never used to burn. Literally, people's eyelashes were burning, were like catching fire, like having that kind of little bit of like sizzle because it was that hot. So that was one of the first indicators too of how much our sun changed at that time, and how it was one of the first indicators that we jumped realities to a whole new physical earth. So it's not even the same earth that it was. And then also because at that time is when COVID started to hit, right? So because we were through isolation so much and we were bound to our homes, it's almost like that was like the perfect opportunity for this to happen, because we weren't in that capability of really seeing the shifts happening because we were distracted by other things, right? So it's like perfect time to make all these things happen. I'm trying to think of how else to put this. So, in also understanding what this new reality is, it's like, so the way they were showing me is, I don't know, okay, and I might be dating myself in this, I'm sure I am. So if you, for those who do remember, like slideshows, right? You had that circle, and inside of it had the little slides, right? So it's almost like understanding that each reality holds a slide that is specific to that reality code, let's say. So there's like different codes, right? So like different files, different codes. Another way of seeing this is when you look at things with colors, right? And color palettes, right? So you have color palettes that connect and sit in the circle of winter colors, spring colors, summer colors, autumn colors. So it's also like kind of understanding that. So when you think about it, the way the different realities are, in what aspect is, it's this color code, almost like this palette of colors. And in that reality, there is, um, you know, possible um, timelines within that reality. So prior to 2020, we were, let's say, we were in spring, and now we've jumped to summer, right? So to understand of how far the reality jump is, in a way to make us understand for our human mind and logically, I guess, right? And in a linear kind of way. So it's understanding that it's, we've jumped from what was the reality under the um, summer palette or spring palette, and we've jumped to the palette and the reality of different slideshows for winter. So it's understanding that you look at our sun, and that's where a lot of it is, right? So it's like, it's a lot of it is connected to space weather, and that's how we can see the real, I guess, proof or shifts in how much our earth has changed and how we're not in the same reality of the same earth. So, again, it's the sun. We're having such a huge shift and, and experiencing such an enormous amount of solar flares and CMEs, right? Like CMEs, it happens often, but like these solar flares, and they've been such high classes. So, you see that where now here we are having, these northern lights that are happening more frequently, and it's something that hasn't happened in such a long time, right? So it's kind of interesting too how it does correlate with some of the predictable, I guess, science weather, but it's happening so intensely where that makes it different, right? Where it's, part of this was to happen, but not at this rate and not at this frequency, not at this frequent activity. So it's just to understand that we are in a very different reality right now. Things are very different. Earth is different. And I feel like there's another level of this reality shift happening again. Sorry, my screen and everything just went really weird there for a second. I don't know if it'll show up on the video, but for me it turned out really weird. Interesting. Anyways. So I'm trying to bring it together in a way to, again, so that I can share the information. And so I feel like the biggest thing is I guess part of it is I'm trying to understand exactly what I need to bring forward to share to you in this information. And I feel that a lot of it is part of it for us to understand, again, how powerful we are in our energy and in our frequency, in how we speak and where we choose to show up for in our life. And that with how we've shifted and we are in this new reality, in this whole new physical earth that has been since 2020, it is almost like it holds the soil or the foundation that we can then activate these things and make them more tangible for us in this reality. So it's like in old earth, um, it's like the soil wouldn't have been fruitful to do those things. It didn't hold the nutrients and the possibility to make that happen. We're now in this new reality that we're in, this new earth, this new physical earth that we are in. It has brought the, what we need to be able to activate and make these things happen. And in that, we bring forward the possibility for more of that to happen. So, and in that, it also brings us the ability where, because we're in this new reality and the way the energy is and the particles and everything that's in the air, that is, again, that we're tangibly able to take in, it is, again, helping us to then bring that over to the next reality when it happens. I feel too that as we're leading to summer solstice this year, in just another week, there's something important about that as well, which again, it's another, even though I know it's not harvest time, but there's something in it that is another activation point that we will need. So it's like almost like another piece of the ingredients that we're going to need for the recipe to take with us for when another new reality comes. So, and I do feel that there's something important about 2025 coming from that. But I almost feel like, again, I don't like to make predictions because the way the energy is and the frequency and everything, things are jumping so quickly. But I almost feel like the next reality shift, where again, the possibility of moving again to another whole new earth, is probably 2030, I'm going to say, because 2030 seems to be something big. 2030, 2032, those are big numbers that I constantly get and sometimes kind of jump to, where I feel like I'm already sitting in that energy. And again, with the way this, because we're in this new earth, it's also given us the ability to be able to jump dimensions, right? And be in that dimensional consciousness of being able to navigate or explore, not really navigate, but explore these different dimensions and different realities within that dimension, right? So like I was saying, like, even though we're in a new physical earth reality, but in this reality, like I said, because again, when you think about the palette, right, the color palette or the slideshow, there's different realities in it and different dimensions, different timelines that we get to explore and, navigate through. Um, and I feel like the biggest message that my higher realm was trying to bring forward in sharing this is just to be more present. Being present is very important, and to be more aware, to understand that more distractions are trying to keep us distracted. Um, and this is why it's important that we find ways to always kind of bring ourselves back to center, bring ourselves back to focus, and to, you know, to feel the energy around us, to see what is happening around us and what we're allowing ourselves to be distracted by. That is making it more difficult for us to be in that level of conscious awareness. So they're just asking us to be more conscious, of course, to be in more awareness, to be more present. Um, and then that will help you in how to kind of connect to and plug into the energies and the information that is trying to come through. And especially that this new earth that we're sitting in is has readily available there for us if we just can, again, remove ourselves from the distraction and tap into that, so that we can um, basically take in all that is available, so that we can always be in our highest level of connection and consciousness, and always sit in our highest reality. I'm going to leave that information there just because this is a lot to take in. As always, there's always kind of encoded energy behind all the messages that are being shared, and to help in activating you so that you can move yourself into your highest state of being. Um, yeah, it's just, whew, that was a lot of information. It feels like a lot of energy has come through. I'm going to leave this here. Surrounding you all in love. Your presence is always greatly appreciated. Um, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share information and have a platform like this that we can just share and talk and have a conversation. Because that's how it all starts. Conversation is important, whether we agree with each other or not, but the ability to have a conversation is key. Again, surrounding you all in love. You are loved, you are seen, you are safe, and you are whole. Until next time.